What's up, everybody? It's Shane, and I'm here to give you another Rurouni Kenshin 2023 episode review. Today's episode is episode 15, entitled That Man Raijuta. And before I go any further, please hit that like button. Helps me out. Hit that subscribe button. We're slowly climbing up here. We're trying to get to our next major milestone of 500. Then we're gonna go even further beyond. And to go even further beyond, I'm going to need you to hit that notification bell so you'll be notified of more videos such as this one. So, I'm struggling to remember last week's episode. No, I'm not. Last week's episode was actually, it was the Yahiko episode, which was actually really good. I enjoyed it very much. This one, you would have thought it was the Kaoru episode, but no, it's kind of a mixed bag here. Especially the way it started off, which was all about Kaoru needing to do a double binding on her chest, which gets Yahiko chopped in the head. But all in all, this episode is about, again, differing philosophies. Using the sword to kill or believing in the future. Sword of the past, sword of the future. We'll get into that. The whole setup is Kaoru's going to the Maekawa Dojo, right? The master there, I cannot remember his name to save my life. I don't even want to look up his name. But the master there has asked her to help out, right? And matter of fact, he's been wanting to meet Kenshin. Of course, Kenshin is freaking famous. Like, our antagonists for this episode and the next episode have been, have names down. They have information from this kid talking about Rurouni and talking about the next dojo. And Kaoru more or less tricks Kenshin into coming along because she said, "Hey, if you're not gonna come, go shopping." And she keeps having him buy the same thing: soy sauce, rice, vinegar. It's like it's just stuff to make the one meal she knows how to make. But I digress. He goes. Yahiko comes along as well. Sano does not. And it's interesting because the master wanted to actually challenge Kenshin and straight up apologize to Kaoru. "I'm sorry to deceiving you, but I didn't think that you would have brought him here if you knew that." And Kenshin has his serious mode eyes, not the killer eyes, not the death glare, just the serious mode eyes. And the master, a considerably older man, not super old, but he's older. If I were to give him an age, we already know that Kenshin is in his early 30s. Master got to be in his late 40s, right? And so the master goes, "Yeah, no, I don't want to battle anymore." And just straight up says, "No, I'm pretty sure I lost before this battle even began." He can just tell, looking into Kenshin's eyes, that he's strong, he is sharp, and he sees the future. And they have a very candid conversation talking about the state of swordsmanship, right? Kaoru's helping everybody, but the master, when asking Kenshin, "What do you think of everything?" He's like, you seem to have a lot of students here, man. It's great. Because the master says, only like maybe 10 of these guys are going to continue taking up the sword when she's not here. Most of the people have come here. Most of the guys came here because of the beautiful swordswoman that's come to help out. He's lamenting about where swordship is going to go in the future, saying that he has failed because he had to ask a neighboring school to help out. And Kenshin literally, it's kind of looking at, seeing myself on screen. Don't talk about yourself like that, dude. You're accomplished. Don't be like that. But of course, bang boom, into the room comes Raijuta, our villain of these next two episodes, basically. He has come to challenge the master of the dojo. He's going around fighting a bunch of different dojos. And of course, his young ward, Raijuta, comes in. Raijuta. Yutaro comes in. Dude is like, he'd be a nice rival for Yahiko because he's talking so much shit. And Yahiko, it's like, dude, shut up, you're annoying. It's pretty funny. But then the master's like, yeah, no, we can spar and everything. We'll make a match out of it, not using a real blade. That's and dude looks down on that. He's like, you don't deserve to be a swords dojo using the wooden blade. Patooey, patooey. He doesn't patooey, but that's how he's acting. Now, he doesn't have one, so he borrows one. And when they do the match, which Kaoru's the judge, Kenshin initially goes, it's gonna be back and forth. They're gonna be 1-1, but the bigger guy's gonna win. He already said the guy's gonna win. No, it wasn't 1-1 then 1 again. Dude hits him in the shoulder, then hits him in the head, and of course, yeah, Yatoro has to tell Yahiko, in a regular sword fight, you have to you wouldn't go for the head because the head could slip. You would go for the shoulder to inflict the pain on them, right? So yeah, um, dude gets the first hit. The master's pretty banged up. Dude beats him soundly, and the only time that Kenshin interferes, first the guy acted like he was gonna kill him with the broken sword because he broke the sword beating him up, which Kenshin's like, nah, we ain't going down like that. And then the guy's talking about burning the banner of the school because, hey, I won, so I'm gonna burn the banner. And Kenshin's like, all right. So Kaoru was gonna just when Kaoru decides she's gonna step in, Kenshin's like, nah, all right, I'm gonna go in. I ain't using my real sword. We're not using real swords though. And the guys go, well, you know what? In a real life or death battle, it's only 1 point that matters. So 1 point. And it's a good looking battle. Like, first of all, animation is great. It's been great. I'm saying it's a good battle, so it's because Kenshin's just dodging all his stuff, right? Dude's big, dude's powerful, but Kenshin's speed is amazing. Obviously, amazing all. And when Guy does his secret technique, which later he tells us is called Shin. What is this style called? It's called Shin something. I think it's called Shinkuro technique, Izuna. And it's like chops the wooden blade in half that Kenshin was holding, but he was able to dodge and just like, ha. And the guy goes, yeah, I'm leaving. Now, of course, Yutaro, he's dumb. He doesn't realize. He's like, yeah, that guy stood no chance. And his giant master's going, nah, this man dodged my technique. No one's ever been able to dodge it. He's perfect. But what is he perfect for? Ooh. Now, we do get some interesting words of wisdom from Sanosuke once they go back and tell him everything's happened. Like, Sanosuke goes, so, no, it didn't seem like dude cheated or anything, because obviously Kaoru is upset. Those are her friends, so obviously she's gonna have some bias here, right? No type of in the middle for Kaoru. She is very much biased. But Sanosuke goes, no, seems like you battled a stronger opponent and you lost. So what can you do? And Kenshin agrees. He's like, that's just what it is. But he's trying to figure out, why is this guy who looks down on wooden blades, why is he going from dojo to dojo to battle when dojos aren't going to use real swords for these things? And of course, they get invited to a manor all of a sudden, all of them. It's a carriage. And you would think, oh man, this Raijuta dude, he's rich. No, he's not. Actually, the kid, Yutaro, his father is, I'm sorry, I need to find his father. His father's name is Yuzaimon Sumayama. Sumayama, there we go. Very, very Japanese name. He's the master of the castle there. And apparently, Japanese swords sell very well to Europeans because they look at them and the design and everything. I mean, let's be honest here. Japanese blades are probably the best looking swords. We're just gonna be honest, they are the best looking swords, but they fetch a pretty price. They were getting ambushed by some bandits, and as it so happens, Raijuta came and made the save. Kind of light bulb kind of went off, and I said, that's kind of convenient, but okay. But his son looks up to the guy, so he's helping the dude out. They're appreciative, letting him stay there and whatnot. And he wants to speak with Kenshin. So Yuto was supposed to keep, the other three occupied. Nah, Sano takes off his wraps. They tie the kid up. They want to hear this conversation. And basically, this dude who talks about law of nature, his sword style to being the Shinko Ryu, says, are you satisfied with how swordsmanship is right now? Right? He wants to restore it to its glory. He plans on eradicating 500 different styles. And Kenshin's like, so you're not trying to restore it? And he's like, no, this is a restoration. And we have to. I'm glad Sanosuke's there, because I wouldn't have understood it if he didn't kind of like regurgitate it back out saying, oh, through getting rid of old styles, you have the best of the best rise to the top, and it'll almost be homogenized. If you have at least 10 really cool styles, 10 really good styles, it'll be homogenized and it'll be an ultimate style, right? And it will preserve the purity of the strength of, sword techniques. Now, guy obviously told him, like, you got my technique, I want you in here, right? And Kenshin says, like, yeah, all ancient sword techniques are just murderous blades, right? You're just focused on battles. It's not what it is today with the sword, with the sportsmanship and things like that, right? And like, so you're aware of all this? And dude's like, yeah, of course. I don't care about murdering people. And Kenshin walks off on him. Literally says, look, man, you and I will not be able to get along. Even though I know when you use a sword, it's a tool for murder, it's a tool for killing. But he has much more, what's a good word I'm looking for? He has better ideals for the future, right? If the future is one where murderous swords thrive, he will gladly decline. He's not denying the basic nature of sports, but he's saying if it means oppressing others and trying to crush life-giving swords, ah, get it? Life-giving Kaoru sword technique. I love that Kenshin sees the big picture. Again, I mentioned earlier, dude is only, dude's in his 30s, right? So he's in this time that's old enough to understand things, but he's pretty wise, right? He knows that if I back something like this, eventually you're gonna come from my girl whose whole sword thing is about defending people, a life-giving blade, not about killing and murdering and anything else like that. You can prove that you're strong, but you don't have to get rid of your opponent. And he's not about to oppress anybody. Remember, Kenshin's not about that oppression stuff. And so, dude, first of all, this guy's not dressed in the garb that he is when you see him right here. He's not dressed with the black feathers and stuff. He has on, I don't want to say traditional robe, but it looks like traditional rope like stuff. And he gets his blade and he's like, all right, cool, then we gonna fight. But I have to point out, I loved how everyone's reaction to Kenshin's words. Like Yahiko's like, yeah. And Sanosuke's like, that's my boy. And Kaoru, her mouth was open, just like, oh, like shimmering with love, just sploosh, right? Because Kenshin's like, yeah, no, I'm gonna believe this has to be the third or fourth time that he has affirmed, look, I believe swords are for murder. That's just the way it is. But I'm putting stock in believing in the principles of this girl who is more or less representing this new era, that blades don't have to only be a thing that can take away life, that they can defend life, which is essentially that's what Kenshin was trying to do a long time ago anyway, right? But by becoming the Hikitori Batosai, he's like, yeah, no, you all. He let people live to tell the other soldiers, like, hey, you try to come after my people, you're gonna have to deal with me, and I'm gonna take you all out. So, interesting episode. I don't initially after I was done watching it, I still had that hype feeling as I think of it now, because I'm 2 days removed from watching it. I'm still willing to give it a 4. I was not when the episode ended with the blade, like the dude reaching for his blade. I said I didn't realize the episode had already ended, and that is a good clue, a good indicator that you have captured and that you have something riveting. Because when I'm not looking at my watch going, okay, well, there's only 5 minutes left. That means next episode's going to be 5. I'm going, ooh, Kenshin gave a good speech. He going to walk off on you. Oh, you about to fight? Oh, man, next week. It's a decent episode. It's decent. I'm willing to give it a 4. It's very low. It's a 3.5, but it's a decent episode. I'm enjoying the fact that this dude might not be as strong as Kurogasa or the only Waban Shu. I say this because in the manga, guy was more of a coward. In the original anime, he was less of a coward but more ruthless. This, I don't get him being a coward, at least from this episode. This 2023 is much closer to the manga than it was the 1996 anime. Maybe this is a new thing they're doing because he doesn't seem cowardly. He just seems like has a very strict ideal. So maybe we'll see some cowardice in the next episode. Maybe he goes, because a coward is supposed to come from actually murdering people. Who knows? I'm interested in seeing what changes, if any, there are to Raijuta. Raijuta is an interesting and cool name, interesting design. This character's design actually taught Nobuhiro-san about making character designs. He hated drawing all the individual feathers. He was trying to make it a cool looking character that had a disposition opposed to that of Kenshin. I wish he would have published more about what he learned from design when dealing with making this character. It's something that character designers, artists, writers, we could use information like that. Go elaborate, go too elaborate, try to make it simple yet unique. Who knows? But all in all, this episode at its high 4. It's a 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the battle that will commence in the next episode. Please let me know what you think. Hit me up in the comment section. Are you excited to know what's going to happen next episode? Have you been enjoying thus far? We are literally 15 episodes in. Tokyo arc is going pretty swimmingly, in my opinion. Don't forget, guys, I need you to hit that like button. I also would like for you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of more videos like this. Thank you for taking some time out to watch me. I deeply appreciate each and every last one of you. Please be good, be blessed. Wash them hands. Get you some water. All right. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. Either way it goes, don't be a jerk. All right. Make sure you're staying safe out there and realize that there are people that care about you. Reach out to someone if you're feeling down, if you're having some pretty bad thoughts. There are people out there that care about you and would rather see you and talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. My social medias are right there in the description. Feel free to give me a follow. Just give me a follow, send me a message. Say hi. Say how you doing. I will respond. I promise I will. And I'll do it in a timely manner. But above all that, just don't be a jerk and we'll be good. All right? So until next time, I can't wait to see what becomes of this battle. If I want to know, I want to know and see what changes there are. So we're almost there. Thursday will be here soon. Order.